Prepare for an emotional journey that will change the way you see love and life. Imagine waking up every day in the same apartment, with the same routine, but feeling that something precious is slipping away. Ethan and Harper, a young couple, are about to discover that small cracks in a relationship can turn into insurmountable chasms. Did you know that most couples face silent crises that can destroy even the deepest connection? In this video, you will follow a real and impactful story, full of twists and surprising revelations. Watch how a simple argument about household chores can trigger a series of events that will forever change the lives of Ethan and Harper. Don't miss it, because this video will change the way you see relationships and everyday challenges. Ethan, a young executive always busy, found himself increasingly immersed in his professional responsibilities. Harper, on the other hand, was juggling remote work and household chores, feeling more and more overwhelmed and invisible. The distance between them grew silently, like a shadow spreading through the apartment. On a seemingly ordinary night after a long day of work, an unexpected argument erupted. The reason was trivial: the dishes Ethan had left in the sink. But Harper's irritation went beyond the simple mess. "You never help me with anything," she exclaimed, her voice laden with accumulated frustration. Ethan, surprised and defensive, retorted, "I work all day, Harper. You don't understand the pressure I'm under." What started as a complaint about household chores quickly turned into a painful exchange of accusations. Ethan felt unappreciated, while Harper felt neglected. The heated argument revealed deep tensions that both preferred to ignore. The inciting incident had been triggered, and there was no turning back. After the confrontation, silence took over the apartment. Ethan and Harper, both hurt, avoided each other. Timid attempts at reconciliation were met with cold and distant responses. The emotional void between them was palpable, and each attempt at friendly conversation resulted in more frustration and resentment. The next day, the routine continued, but with a new layer of tension. Ethan buried himself even more in work, while Harper, alone at home, felt the weight of loneliness. Both knew that something needed to change, but neither had the courage to take the first step. Silence became a constant presence, a reminder that the relationship was on the brink of collapse. As Ethan and Harper navigated their parallel lives, the feeling that something precious was slipping away grew. The routine that once brought comfort now felt like a prison. Future plans, which were once a source of excitement, became distant and unreal. Every small gesture, every unspoken word, contributed to the growing sense of alienation. The initial chapter of this story shows how small cracks in a relationship can turn into insurmountable chasms. Ethan and Harper are at a crossroads, where each decision can lead to reconciliation or definitive separation. Their journey has just begun, and the consequences of their actions promise to change the way they see life and love. Harper was at home, alone, when a notification on Ethan's phone caught her attention. It was a message from an unknown number, but the content was clear and disturbing. With a racing heart, she decided to take a closer look. What she found were exchanges of messages indicating a concerning closeness between Ethan and another woman. The affectionate words and Ethan's confessions of dissatisfaction with his marriage made her world crumble. When Ethan came home that night, Harper couldn't contain the avalanche of emotions. "What is this, Ethan? Who is this person you're exchanging messages with?" she asked, her voice trembling with anger and pain. Ethan, caught off guard, tried to justify himself. "Harper, it's not what you think. I'm just talking to her because I feel so lonely." The seed of mistrust was planted. Ethan's attempts to explain seemed hollow in the face of the evidence. Harper felt betrayed, not just by the possibility of infidelity, but by the breach of trust at a time when she already felt vulnerable. Every word from Ethan seemed to aggravate the wound opening in her heart. In a moment of painful honesty, Ethan admitted the truth. "Yes, I've been talking to someone else. I feel so unhappy, Harper. It feels like we're living separate lives. I needed someone to confide in." Ethan's words were like knives to Harper's heart. She couldn't believe that the man with whom she had shared so many dreams and plans was now confessing his unhappiness and seeking comfort in someone else. Harper, feeling betrayed and devastated, couldn't hold back the tears. "How could you do this to me, Ethan? I feel lonely too, but I never thought of seeking someone else. This is a betrayal." The pain in her voice was evident, and Ethan, though regretful, knew his actions had deep consequences. Ethan's confession complicated the situation even further. Harper needed space to process everything. "I need some time, Ethan. I need to think about what all this means for us. I'm going to stay at Zoe's place for a while." Ethan tried to protest, but he knew Harper needed that space. "Please, Harper, forgive me. I never meant to hurt you." Harper packed a few things and left the house, her heart heavy and mind confused. At her friend Zoe's house, she found a supportive shoulder and a listening ear. "Zoe, I don't know what to do. Ethan betrayed me, and now everything seems to be falling apart." Zoe, understanding, offered her support. "Harper, sometimes we need time to understand our feelings. Stay here as long as you need. We'll get through this together." As Harper and Zoe talked, the difficulties of the relationship came to light. Harper needed time to reflect on her emotions and decide what she truly wanted for her future. The decision to leave home was difficult, but necessary. She knew she needed clarity to face the next steps. This chapter reveals how secrets and mistrust can deeply shake the foundation of a relationship. The discovery of Ethan's betrayal puts Harper in an emotional dilemma, where each choice will have a significant impact on their lives. Follow the next chapters to see how Harper and Ethan will face the challenges that arise when trust is broken. Ethan and Harper spent days apart, each immersed in their own thoughts and regrets. Ethan, alone in the apartment, reflected on his choices and the consequences of his actions. Sitting in the empty living room, he replayed happy moments and questioned where everything had started to go wrong. "How did I let this happen? I love her, but I lost my way," he thought, feeling a mix of sadness and guilt. Harper, at Zoe's house, also delved into deep introspection. The pain of betrayal was still intense, but she knew she needed to understand her own feelings. "Could I have done something different? Is there still a future for us?" she wondered, trying to find a thread of hope amidst the emotional chaos. After days of reflection, Ethan decided he needed to try to win Harper back. He planned a romantic dinner, remembering the happy moments they shared. He prepared her favorite meal, lit candles, and played the music they always danced to. When Harper arrived, the atmosphere was cozy, but the tension was palpable. "Harper, thank you for coming. I know I made a mistake, and I am deeply sorry. I want you to know that I still love you, and I am willing to do whatever it takes to fix things," Ethan said, his voice filled with sincerity. Harper, though touched by Ethan's effort, was still undecided. "Ethan, I appreciate what you are trying to do, but the pain is still very great. I don't know if I can trust you again." The conversation was sincere and full of emotions. Ethan expressed his feelings of loneliness and regret, while Harper talked about her pain and the difficulty of overcoming the betrayal. The dinner, which Ethan hoped would be a step towards reconciliation, ended with Harper still uncertain about their future. She needed more time to think. A few days later, Harper made a decision. She arranged to meet Ethan at a quiet cafe where they could talk without interruptions. Ethan arrived hopeful, but Harper's serious look made him realize that something definitive was about to happen. "Ethan, I have thought a lot about all of this. I know you are sorry and that you still love me, but I can't continue like this. The trust has been broken and I don't know if we can rebuild it," Harper said, her voice firm but full of sadness. Ethan felt a tightness in his chest. "Harper, please, don't give up on us. We can try again. I promise I will change." But Harper had already made her decision. I need to move on, Ethan. We both need to. Maybe with time, we can forgive each other and find happiness. But for now, I need to step away to heal. Harper's words were like a final blow, but also a release. Ethan, with tears in his eyes, accepted the reality. I understand, Harper. I just want you to be happy, even if that means going our separate ways. The meeting ended with a painful but necessary hug. Both knew that this was the end of a journey together, but also the beginning of new individual possibilities. The separation was inevitable, but carried the hope that one day they could find peace and happiness, even if on different paths. Harper was back in the real estate market looking for a fresh start. After days of searching, she found a cozy apartment in a quiet neighborhood. The move was a mix of emotions. While packing her things, memories of her time with Ethan surfaced, but she knew she needed to move on. With the help of friends and family, Harper settled into her new home and began adjusting to single life. The first nights were lonely, but soon Harper realized the freedom this new phase provided. She resumed forgotten hobbies like painting and reading, and started exploring new activities. In conversations with friends and family, she shared her feelings and plans. I'm rediscovering who I am, she told Zoe, her loyal friend. It's hard, but also liberating. Meanwhile, Ethan was also in a process of rediscovery. After the separation, he decided to focus on himself. At work, his colleagues, especially Jackson, noticed the change. Hey, Ethan, why don't you come play soccer with us after work? Jackson suggested. Ethan, who hadn't played sports in a long time, accepted the invitation. Soccer became an outlet, helping Ethan deal with his emotions. He also rediscovered the pleasure of cooking, something he always enjoyed but had set aside. At a dinner with new friends, Ethan felt lighter. It's good to see you like this, Ethan. Life goes on, and you're doing a great job moving forward, one of the friends said. Life went on, and both Ethan and Harper were building new routines and friendships. One day, at a social event organized by a mutual friend, their paths crossed again. The reunion was unexpected but not tense. Both were in a better emotional place and ready for a mature conversation. Hi, Harper. How are you? Ethan asked with a sincere smile. Hi, Ethan. I'm good, thank you. And you? Harper replied, also smiling. The conversation flowed cordially, with each sharing their new experiences. I've been painting a lot lately. It's something I've always loved to do, Harper said. That's great. I've gotten back into playing soccer and cooking. It's been good for me, Ethan commented. Both realized they were following different paths, but that wasn't a bad thing. They had learned from the past and were ready to move forward. The casual reunion served as a symbolic closure, showing that life goes on and new opportunities always arise. Harper was at the peak of a new work project that left her excited and fulfilled. She had been chosen to lead an innovative initiative at the company, something she had always dreamed of. Her ideas were finally being valued, and she felt empowered. In meetings with her colleagues, Skylar and Mason, Harper discussed the project details with enthusiasm. Skylar, I think if we implement this new strategy, we can increase our efficiency by 20%, Harper suggested, her eyes shining with passion. I agree, Harper. Your vision is truly inspiring, Skylar replied admiringly. Mason, always pragmatic, added, We will need a detailed plan, but I believe you are on the right track. Harper felt more confident and fulfilled than ever, realizing she was building something significant. Meanwhile, Ethan was also experiencing a new beginning in his personal life. He had started dating Savannah, an intelligent and caring woman he met at a work event. Their initial conversations revealed a more mature and self-aware Ethan. Savannah, after what I've been through, I've learned to value every moment and to be more honest with myself and others, Ethan confessed during a dinner. Savannah, understanding and sensitive, responded, Ethan, we all have our scars. The important thing is how we learn and grow from them. Ethan felt ready for a new relationship, more prepared to build something based on trust and mutual respect. His interactions with Savannah brought a new perspective on life, showing him that it was possible to love again. Both Ethan and Harper found peace and happiness in their new lives. Harper, now more confident and accomplished, reflected on her personal growth. "I never imagined that the pain of separation would lead me to discover such great inner strength," she thought as she watched the progress of her project. Ethan, in turn, felt grateful for the lessons learned. Life teaches us in unexpected ways. "I'm happy to have found peace and the ability to love again," he reflected as he walked alongside Savannah. Months later, fate crossed Ethan and Harper's paths again, this time on a special occasion. They met at a company event, now as friends. The reunion was marked by sincere smiles and a brief but meaningful conversation. "Harper, it's good to see you. You look radiant," Ethan said with a genuine smile. "Thank you, Ethan. You also seem to be doing very well," Harper replied, with a sparkle in her eyes. They talked about their new lives, sharing stories and laughs. "Life has brought us here, and I'm grateful for everything we've learned," Ethan said. "Yes, and I'm happy we've found our way," Harper agreed. Both showed that despite the difficulties and pain, the end of their relationship provided profound personal growth. They had found inner peace and were ready to embrace the future with hope and gratitude.